Hello. I wanted to talk about high testosterone levels in women, and can it be a superpower or can it be a debilitating issue that we have to learn to navigate, particularly if we're in business? I think the two are true. Hi, I'm Sambo Patrick. If you haven't heard me before, I've got quite a few books in this space, and one of my iconic and favourite books that I wrote is called Beauty and the Beast Within: The Hormone Changes Making Women Wild. And that was a journey for me, understanding that as women, testosterone, which both sexes produce, acts more like a stress hormone in women. Now, this is a key. This is the gateway to understanding your body as a woman, your physiology, and as I was talking about that super strength, but also the Achilles heels. Now, testosterone for women is produced in multiple parts of the body. In men, it's testes and muscles. In women, it's muscles, adrenals, and other areas. Now, what I have discovered over the last 20 odd years of helping women with this issue and my own personal issues with high testosterone levels is that when you put a woman under stress, when she says it to herself, I mean, most of the time it's self-inflicted. I've got to be here, I've got to do this, and they have these KPIs on themselves and lists and all this sort of stuff, high achieving and everything else to throw in there just to prove that we deserve a table at the boardroom. What happens is that pressure puts us in survival mode. Now, clearly it's not life or death, but we start responding as if it is. And the triggers might be an email, might be getting the kids ready for work and texts are coming through, and those triggers are enough to throw us in the sympathetic nervous system state. And when we're in that state, we're not only secreting adrenaline, noradrenaline, cortisol, but testosterone. Now, testosterone is a very fighty, gutsy hormone. It is a get out of my way, I've got something to do, don't get in the way of what I want to do hormone. We'll just go back, just got a bit windy on my little morning walk. Now, when it's a super strength, is that it does make us competitive. It certainly gives us that, that edge that we can step up and perform, particularly if it's a male-dominated arena. And over the years, I've seen many archetypes of women who struggle with too much testosterone production, and that's women working on the frontline services, women working with men in male-dominated industries like banking, legals, those sorts of things will definitely often struggle with the high testosterone phenomena. The other group are athletes. They naturally have higher muscle production of testosterone, and they're competitive. As I was saying, it can be a super strength when utilised the right way. Your corporate person who really wants to leave a legacy, and people who eat too many carbs, and that's where I see the problem roller skating out of control. Are young girls drinking iced coffees, iced chocolates, sugar-rich drinks, nutrient poor foods, if they're even foods, and their testosterone's bumping up. And I won't go into the mechanics of that, but that is because testosterone competes with insulin at the cell wall, and only one can get in and do its job. Now, when it's a superpower, as I said, it's competitive, it's cutting edge, it's awesome. It gives us capacities and strengths that we wouldn't normally have in a relaxed state. Where it can become negative, and I'll go from the head to the toes, male pattern baldness, so girls can get thinning of their hair. In fact, I'm pretty sure if we found most girls that went to trichologists, hair specialists, with their thinning of their hair, would have a high androgen or high testosterone issue. Stop looking at it as a sex problem, look at it as a stress phenomena, and then the person can be helped. So this is for practitioners as well, to understand that testosterone in women isn't a sex hormone, it's a stress hormone. Head to toe, it can make the woman unable to relax. It can make us aggressive. It can make us very frontline and like edgy and too forward. The opposite hormone, oxytocin, makes us relaxed and lovey and dovey. So testosterone throws us into the opposite state. Pimples, acne. 54% of women in Australia over the age of, I think the statistic is 40. I'm not too sure on the age, don't quote me on that, but over half the women who suffer with adult acne have the phenomena of high testosterone. So it needs to be looked at. That needs to be looked at as an absolute cause of what's causing adult presentation of acne. Belly fat, and that's back to that insulin connection that I was talking about before. And obviously if the woman's in a stress state, she'll also be producing excessive cortisol, which also confuddles your insulin response times, and belly fat's one of those things. Dysfunction at the ovary. So what happens with testosterone? You can imagine if your body's in this, oh my God, life's about to end, I'm running late for so many appointments, I've got so much to do, la, 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 la. The last thing your body wants to do is fall pregnant. Now, it obviously hasn't got a mind down there going, oh, we can't cope, I'm going to switch the ovaries down. It works a different pathway, but that's effectively what happens. So lots of girls with high testosterone won't have periods, and ovulation, or struggle to fall pregnant, or have a very long period, so 40 days. And it is, still to this day, the leading cause of infertility in women, high testosterone levels. It affects about 75% of women who are trying to conceive who can't, which is sitting at about 6 in 10 couples in this country, Australia, and you would find that other developed countries would be similar, USA, UK. So what can, and let me just think, whiskers. Let me not forget whiskers. Ugly, unwanted facial hair. High testosterone girls, check it out. Okay, so specialty area of mine. What do you need to do about it? You need to do a saliva test. You want to find out what your free-floating testosterone levels are doing. You want to find out also what your estrogen levels are doing, because they similar pathway, cortisol. So I do that on a saliva test. I don't mess around with bloods. I go straight for saliva. Out-of-pocket expense, is it worth it? Yes. Hell yes. Certainly an eye-opener. When you get those results back, you can go, right, well, this is happening in my body. That's why I feel like that. But more importantly, I feel like that when this is happening. And you can start to manage your physiology yourself by changing your states, which to me is true empowerment. So you want to do a saliva test. I also offer a hair test, which is good to know. Inositol may indicate if you've dropped some of your Bs, which is very common in prolonged stress, and other things like magnesium, calcium, which help relax a stressed body. Very important things to know. So that's in my core health program. You can order anytime, Australia, New Zealand. I'm looking at opening it up to the States and the UK to find out what your hormone levels are doing, because this phenomenon is not going away. And unfortunately, at the moment, the dominant narrative is, oh, you're broken, you need drugs, you need antidepressants, you need anxiolytics, all this stuff. No, you don't. You just need to understand what's going on at a hormonal level, and really simple strategies to bring it down through your day-to-day. And, okay, so here are just some take-homes. Get the diagnostics right. Come to me, go to someone who knows what they're doing, get a saliva test done, find out what's happening. Secondly, never eat carbohydrates on their own. So carbs are all your plant sources. If you like alcohol, make sure you have it with some protein, so you don't get insulin glitches, which puts more pressure on testosterone pathways or how testosterone responds at the cell wall. Thirdly, I call it refeminizing. Every opportunity when you don't have to be a ball-breaking, person in the boardroom, take the opportunity to step into your feminine space. Now, when I do my talks, and as I have been for keynote speaking for years, I'm very, I guess what's become old school now. When I talk to this, it's men are men, women are women, not the shades in between. So take this information, don't be offended. I just can't cover all the subcategories. So I call it refeminizing. Let your hair down, go and buy some flowers, wear a dress. Interestingly, I ran a survey years ago on for women, when you wear a dress, do you feel more feminine? 100% of women said yes. So we're going to modulate carbs, we're going to refeminize, decompress, reduce stress, and when I say this to women who are stressed, they get stressed. So what I want you to do is start having more fun activities. I hear you say, what? Am I allowed to do that? Yes, you are. I'm giving you permission to have fun, because when we have fun, we raise the opposite hormone, oxytocin. And oxytocin powerfully will drop testosterone within seconds. And just biochemical support, things like magnesium, just allowing your body to do what it was designed to do perfectly, but in pressure situations will use up extra hormones, extra minerals, vitamins. You just need to stay on top of that. If your diet doesn't match it, then you need to have some really gun-ho, natural, proven, safe, I like to think practitioner dispensed, appropriate supplementation. Sleep, of course, is becoming the real buzz on the street. Sleep always was and always will be a foundation of health as far as I'm concerned. So you need to be off these devices, allowing the brain to switch down, oxytocin to pump up, and have a beautiful rested sleep. Now, that's a pretty long life. I would love you to share this with any of your females who are in corporate, because we need to start mastering ourselves in the corporate space and becoming really aware of our physiology. If you're angry, if you've got facial hair, any of those things, get a saliva test. Honestly, it is a game changer. Love, leave comments. Love to help you out. And as I said, all that stuff is accessible through my website, sambopatrick.com. And I hope you